Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About Houses. I'm Todd.
I'm Oana.
Okay, so we're going to talk about this crazy thing called an all-inclusive trust deed.
Right.
AITD. You may not know what it is. You may not have heard about it, but we're going to explain it here. So this is this is sort of a combination of a seller carryback and then loan arbitrage. So before we go through the numbers, I'm going to put the slide up here so you can just look at this while we talk. Sort of explain the general theory behind why we do this versus just selling it or just doing a straight carryback.
Right. So let's say, for example, that you have this wonderful opportunity to move to Europe for a few years or for a couple years, and you want to sell the property and you want to sell it now, you want to sell it quickly, and you don't need all the money on the front end. So this might be an opportunity for you. So here's the deal. You sell the property to an end user. Now that end user is looking at and saying, hey, I could pay 6.25% on the open market for my mortgage, or I can pay 5% with you. So here's the way it works. The seller, let's say, is selling the property for $600,000. Let's say the seller has a $300,000 loan at 2.5%. Now the buyer is going to give a down payment of $100,000, which the seller gets to put in his pocket.
He gets to keep it.
The seller is carrying back $200,000. Now, here's the cool part. The seller is making 5% on the $200,000 he's carrying, and then because his loan is at 2.5%, he's making that difference because the buyer is paying 5% on the entire $500,000. So the seller is making 2.5% on his own $300,000 loan, which he's making the payments on to his lender.
He's making more money.
Right. So he's making money on the bank's money. Always nice. And then he's making money on his equity.
5%.
Which is nice.
On his equity.
So this is a good deal for a seller. It's a good deal for a buyer because he's getting a loan that is very appealing compared to what's on the open market right now. And maybe that, in there's something written that the buyer will refinance everything in like 2 years or 3 years, whatever. And then the seller gets paid everything and his loan gets paid off. So this is an opportunity for both sides to do a little bit of creative financing and make it good for everybody. Now, what's interesting about this is that the seller can foreclose if the buyer defaults, which is always a good thing because remember on other sorts of transactions, it could be that the seller's still on the hook for his loan but can't foreclose if the buyer defaults. So this is a really important distinction. So we thought that you might want to know about this because there's an opportunity, particularly in today's market, to maybe do something like this. Make sure that you speak with your favorite real estate agent about it. Very few agents in this market know how to do this.
Or any market. This could be anywhere in the U.S.
Well, no, meaning very few agents in business today.
Yeah.
I should rephrase that. Very few agents in business today know how to do this because this was popular way back when.
70s, 80s.
Right. So that's why I say make sure that you have a conversation with them, and if they're not familiar with this, reach out to an escrow company. They are very familiar with this, and they are very helpful to set this up properly. It is very important that whether you are the buyer or the seller, is to set up properly to protect both parties and have a good transaction. If this was interesting to you, if it was helpful, if you learned something, please hit the notification bell, like the video, share the video, tell us where you're watching from, and tell us what you found interesting about this. We like hearing from you, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.